So when I was flying here, as you said that in
Hmm.
Indian flight schools, majority of them,
Hmm.
there is no schedule as such. If you want to do your flight training, then
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to India's number one pilot podcast. We are back with episode number 71. And we're happy to see you here to start your pilot journey if you are an aspiring pilot. And time and again, we do provide a lot of information relating to pilot career. So you can decide whether it's the right career choice for you.
absolutely. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pilot Podcast channel, and we are great to see you here. So today we are two of us because of the roster and the timings. Neela is not there.
Yeah.
Even Chintan has landed in the morning
Yeah.
from red eye flight, and
Yes.
we are here after his rest. He's
Yes.
slept after that, and then yes.
Yes, I've made it a habit. Like whenever it's a red eye flight, I sleep after coming back from the flight immediately without having anything. Because if we have food before we just sleep, then the recovery is not that great, and we don't have good deep sleep. That's what I think.
Okay.
And we have been discussing the airline pilots roster for a couple of time, and today also we started with the red eye flight, which is related to the airlines pilot life and stuff.
Correct.
But we have not discussed yet the roster of a student pilot's life or an aspiring pilot's life.
Yes.
The moment they start their training, let's say first they start with their ground school, followed by their CPL training, then type rating, then airline training.
Correct.
So as an aspiring pilot, I always had that curiosity. Okay, airline pilot, I know because there are many videos on YouTube, and many people I was in touch who were working for the airline, and they used to tell me, okay, it's not going to be the same time you wake up every day and same time you go to bed.
Correct.
It's gonna keep on changing.
Right.
So better be prepared for it. And initially when I started my airline career, it was a bit challenging and difficult to manage my lunch time, dinner time, and sleep time, and then social life, and then family time, and everything. But within 6 to 8 months, got used to it, and planned things around my roster, which is a typical airline roster. And I mean, everyone do get used to it.
Correct.
And now we can talk about the aspiring pilot's roster, or pilot who is just going under training, because that's what I was always curious about. And I'm sure like you won't be knowing, if you are starting your pilot career, what would your day look like until you get that CPL, right?
Correct. Absolutely. So when you start off with this pilot training journey, as we always discuss that, the first step to start with is the DGCA ground training and the associated class 2 medical, you can consider doing it, which is just a matter of one day. So I wouldn't say that is your routine for medical. So class 2 medical, you can get it done.
Yes, but class 2 doesn't require routine. But
Correct.
I think a week prior or a month prior, if we stick to some healthy habits, which we are not doing.
Absolutely.
Like, let's say during my 12th and whenever the vacation is there, I used to go out, eat street food. And then play in sun for like the whole day and stuff without even drinking water and stuff. So it used to be completely dead. So that was the age when we don't care about our body, or we are not taught how to care about body, because we are young. So nothing can happen to us. Like we are like, even if I play the whole day, there won't be any injury. Okay. So yeah. So I think if we speak about routine before the medicals, 1 week healthy balanced diet, couple of workout session or
Correct.
walk or
Correct,
anything,
correct.
and then good sleep.
Absolutely.
So what that will do is that will bring all your parameters to normal. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
let's say if we go for medicals without resting well, then the parameters will be not normal.
Absolutely.
And then doctor may ask you to get it again, even though the body is normal. But because of one day prior, if we don't sleep properly, if we have too oily food and stuff, that will
Correct.
show in our blood, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
And that's not our body. Okay, that's
Absolutely.
just what we did one day prior. So I think 1 week to 10 days is something we should maintain a good
lifestyle
balance, right?
in terms of in terms of sleep, eating healthy food.
So what do you do before your DC medicals?
So before DGCA medical, generally airline gives pre-medical off, which
Okay.
is as per your which is normal off day, so that you're not flying at night and then getting up and then you're. So they ensure that you have the pre-medical off so that you can rest well, and the parameters are normal. So this is one, and plus you have to keep yourself hydrated. I drink more water than usual. I generally have a habit of drinking more water, but so that is required, so that the urine report is generally fine with that, drinking more water. Apart from that, if you do that, then even all your blood parameters are also pretty okay. Plus you need to make sure that you are not eating junk food, not eating too oily food, which can hamper your or affect your blood parameters.
So you're saying, but after medicals you can have all this.
So once a while you can do that.
Yeah,
not
definitely.
A problem.
In
Yes.
balance, everything in balance.
Yes, absolutely. So today itself, one parent called me and she was like, my son is not, he's sleeping very late and waking up very, very late. I don't know. I mean, he wants to do pilot training, but then his routine is all over the place. So how to, help this and then get back to routine. So I said this pilot training does require certain amount, discipline to start off your journey with. So it is important that, you sleep early, at least by 12 latest, not even later than that, and wake up at around 7 8 in the morning, which is pretty fine, and you get about 8 hours of rest easily. So that is important, because sleeping late and waking up late is not going to help, because the night time is very important. Your sleep during that time, that is more important than sleeping in the day. So that is one thing which needs to be followed. Apart from that, once you have that routine and you are get into the habit of eating healthy food itself, now I don't find it is very fascinating to eat a burger or sometimes it is okay. It's absolutely okay. There is absolutely no problem if you do that, but not on routine basis,
Daily basis,
on
yeah.
everyday basis,
Yeah.
So that's how it is. And that is about food, that is sleep and workout, of course. So that is important. It is important to keep yourself, one is in the healthy range or normal range of BMI, which is between 20 to 25, for girls 19 to 24. So if you are in the normal range of BMI, then only nowadays it is acceptable by the airline, even for the cadet pilot program or even for the induction. The airlines are not accepting even overweight your candidates because of the future problems associated with being overweight and obese. So that is the reason why it is important that the weight should be normal, and to keep yourself fit completely, it is important to do workout. So at least like 4 times a week, your heart rate should be increased. So that is important. That these are the things which you follow, then
Yes.
there won't be any issue.
Yes, we can just include this in the routine.
Correct.
If someone is planning to
correct.
Start their pilot career and just maintain it. It's not possible to do everything every day. So whenever you get time, just stick to it. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, so having said that, your class 2 medical, once that is done, you can start with the DGCA ground classes.
Yes.
And when you start with the DGCA ground classes, of course, we offer 3 modes of learning. Students who are passed out of 12th generally prefer a training center mode of learning, and students who are graduates who are okay to do their own studies at their own pace, they go for on demand modes or mode of learning. So whatever mode you go for, you will need to allot about 6 to 8 hours of studies.
Okay.
So like if you are at training center, we have hours for learning, that is morning 9 to 1 will be navigation, then 2 to 4 will be alternate days meteorology and regulation. So 3 days a week is meteorology, 3 days a week is air regulation, and then in the evening 4:15 to 6:15 is technical general. So of course you don't have to start with all the subjects at once. We advise to start with 2 subjects at a time. Like navigation, meteorology, you can start first, and once you clear these, then you can go for regulation and technical general. So that way, in 3 months, 2 subjects, another 3 months, another 2 subjects. If you're going for navigation, meteorology, regulation, it will be done in about 4 to 5 months. So that's how you can, plan. So once you attend the lectures at training center, then you have to come back, you have to revise, you have to solve those questions. So it's not only attending the lectures, but it's your own study as well. So when you come back home from classes, then you have to, you can rest for a while, go for a workout, then come back and just do your homework, revise, and then prepare for the next day, and then go to sleep. All right. So,
yes. So after the lecture, once the lecture is done, if we don't revise, so I will give my example.
Correct.
So
you were for on demand.
I was for on demand.
Correct.
So if I skip the revision for even one day,
correct,
then I have to start again, because
correct.
the thing is, when you go or when you're learning something new for the first time, you understand it at one go. But if you don't revise it, it doesn't get registered in your brain.
Correct,
so if you don't revise it, then again you have to start. Then you'll have to pay more time to get that concept clear. So revision is the most important thing after you have learned something new. That's what I believe.
Absolutely.
And that 3 to 6 months when a student is preparing for the DGCA exam, he might seem that what is he doing? He might see, okay, my friends are enjoying the movies and stuff. They're going out on trips. And I am from morning until evening or night, I'm just studying. So what am I doing here? Like why I am studying so hard, okay, and while they are enjoying. So I get that. I mean, it's all right to feel that way, but it's just for 3 to 6 months, because you are working on something.
Correct.
And you might get Sundays off. So on Sunday, half day you can enjoy, half day you can rest, half day you can revise for the whole week. So everything in balance for that 3 to 6 months, because if you put in the efforts for that 3 to 6 months, it becomes very easy to clear your papers.
Correct.
And once you've cleared the papers, then it's just revision whenever required. And then you move on to the next step, which is flight training.
Correct. Absolutely. So as you were taking on demand classes and you were learning online, so how was your schedule? Like you did all the 3 subjects in 1 month.
Yes.
So that was
mine was
crazy.
Just so the example which I gave, that all my friends were enjoying, and I was just sitting at home studying from morning until late night.
Right.
So I used to feel so that way. So I was like, it's completely all right. It's just matter of couple of days or weeks. How much? So the duration of studying is as long as I clear the DGCA exams, and after that, it's just revision whenever required for certain concept. So for me, the situations were different. So I already done my civil engineering. So for me, there was no point to sit for an offline ground school for a span of 3 to 6 months, because I had a technical background, and now I just need to learn few technical concepts.
Correct.
And then just utilize it to solve the problems and understand the basics.
Correct.
So, but the important thing was that the syllabus was very vast. So I need to put in a lot of time to understand all the concepts which are available to clear the DGCA exams. And for the on-demand version at CNTAA, it gives the flexibility to study.
Correct.
So for me, I'm a morning person. I can wake up in the morning and start studying. But staying up late at night will make me feel sleepy as soon as I open the book. So let's say if I sleep the whole afternoon and I'm all energetic, but if I open book at 9 or 10 p.m., it's time to go to bed. And so if I wake up early and study, that helps me to cover a lot of syllabus in short span of time.
Okay.
Because when I wake up, first of all, there is no external disturbances. Okay. So no one is already woken up, like let's say all friends, all the work calls and everything. Nothing on the phone. Morning 6 a.m. no one is awake. Everyone is just lying on the bed. And then 8, 9, 10 o'clock people wake up, and then all the news notifications, all of those come. But I used to not check the phone until like 12.
Study.
Yeah. So morning 6 to 12 was the best time for me to study. So I made it a habit to wake up at 5:30, go down for a walk, fresh, take shower, eat food, and 6 o'clock I used to study and start with the most difficult subject, which is navigation. Because if you do hard things first, then it's become very easy to cover meteorology and regs. So 6 to 12 I used to cover navigation, how much ever I used to cover, like let's say 6 to 10 I used to cover the theory, then half an hour to 1 hour of break, and followed by 1 hour of solving problems. And then again a break for lunch. And then for 2 hours metrology, again a break for 1 hour, then 2 hours regulations, and then again 1 hour break, then last 1 hour is revision, whatever I have done. So I used to make notes for everything. So before sleeping, I just go through it, the notes, and then it was perfect recipe for me to get good sleep, because I retain that thing and then go to sleep. Then I can next day start. So I did this for around 25 to 30 days because I knew I had to clear the exam, and it worked well for me. Amazing. And the on-demand module at CNTAA is designed very well for people who are looking to switch their career. Let's say someone is working in the IT field, they want to study alongside with their job. So it gives them a possibility to clear the DGCA exams without leaving their job. So what happens is, let's say even if it takes 6 months to 7 months to clear the exam while working at their job. So I was not working at that time. I was a part of the cadet program, and I was full-time into study. That is why it's possible. Otherwise, someone is doing a job, it can easily take up to 6 to 7 months, depending on how much time do they put. So you don't have to leave your job. So first, your income is coming. You are also preparing for the DGCA exams. And once you're done with the exam, at that point, you can file your resignation if you're planning to switch. And in those 2-3 months of your resignation period, you can look for flight schools and do the visa work and everything. As soon as your resignation period is over, you can go for a flight training. So in this way, you have almost saved around 6 to 9 months. That's what I believe. And yeah, if you can save 6 to 9 months and get paid as well for those many months, it's the best way.
Absolutely, yes. But you have to utilize your time once you're back from home in a very effective and efficient manner, without wasting time.
Yes, I know a lot of people who are doing this actually. So most of them are working in multinational companies, mostly in the IT field. And they had their a passion to become a pilot. And still now, even after completing the engineering and working in their dream IT company, they have that thing that, okay, I want to fly the aircraft one day, because now they have money as well, because IT jobs do pay well if someone is qualified. And they are like, I just want to do this thing because this is what I want to do it from childhood, but I was not able to do it due to whatever reasons it is.
Right.
And I have guided personally a couple of engineers who wanted to switch their career, and they started learning from the CNTAA on-demand module.
Right.
And whenever I do go for Leos, I do meet them and guide them how to follow the process. And they're doing very well, actually, studying and job. But they had the passion in them, because it's very difficult if you are working in a job, 9 to 5 job, and then coming back after the job and studying for 2 hours is the most difficult, because your brain is already tired. You have worked for 7 to 8 hours. So they are doing it because they want to become a pilot. Okay. So it's what you want to put in and what you want to get out of it.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. Yes. So that is about how you prepared for the DGCA exams. And students who go to training center, they come back, they finish the quizzes, and then they go for the next one. So that's how is the exam preparation takes place. So students who are appearing for 3 exams, because if they wish to go abroad for flight training, then they can appear for navigation, meteorology, regulation, these 3 papers. And the ones who are planning to do flight training in India, then they have to go for technical general as well, in which case the duration of the ground class is extended up to 6 months. So that's how it goes. So initially the entire computer number process and that happens simultaneously, which we assist in at CNTAA. So yeah, that's about the exam preparation. Then flight training. So when they go for flight training in flight school, how does that work? Like, where do they have a schedule? Do they have to maintain that schedule, or they have flights at random timings?
So as I've done my training from the US, I will be able to guide, or I'll be able to tell more about the training schedules in the US, and the timings are different. It's not that the same time you will have, but you will have a slot.
Right.
Okay. So let's say the flying would be, depending upon what lesson you're doing, the slot may be of 1 hour, 2 hour, or 3 hour if you're doing a law cross country.
Right.
Okay. So depending on that, let's say it starts from 6 a.m. the slots. So if it's a 6 a.m. reporting, your flight will be at 7 a.m. So you have to report 1 hour before your departure time.
Correct.
Okay. And you go to the flight school. You first check the aircraft, what aircraft you will be flying, and then based on that there will be a list where you have to find the weights. Like we have the max landing weight and all the weights, and you calculate weights based on that aircraft. And
maximum weight you can
and then so now in airlines we never do that, but when we were in,
we still check which is limiting how much fuel we can carry.
Yes, that is there, that we do, but here we used to take weight of our own, weight of the instructor, and then calculate the fuel as well, how much we want to carry. And then the takeoff weight and everything comes, and then
there you take actual weights. Here in airlines we take the average weight of passengers and crew, and their baggage.
So that was one thing. So that's the reason we have to go in 1 hour early. So that is the flight preparation. Then we check the weather, we download the weather, the meter, and then see how's the weather, which part of practice area. So what happens is when you go to a flight school, there'll be a couple of practice area, and every practice area will have a different name. So we had Monroe practice area, we had Apopka, we had near Leesburg, we had one general flying area where you go. So
where you practice
maneuvers and stuff. So in our flight school, that the aircraft, we call it tag log in our airline. So we used to call this the CAN in American English. So we checked if the aircraft had any issues in the past flight. So we go from the start until the end, and then we check the airworthiness certificate and how long is everything valid and all of those things.
Correct.
So that is the reason we have to go in 1 hour before the departure time. And then you go to the aircraft, then you call the fuel truck, the refuel, then you check the fuel quantity if it's refueled correctly, then you sum the fuel to check if there's no water or any pollutants in the fuel. You do pre-flight and everything, and then you go on the training flight, you come back, then there's around half an hour to 1 hour of debrief on what went good in the flight, what went bad in the flight. So the instructor will tell you what are the things you have to improve on. And according to me, that is the best thing to improve. Because the instructor knows what you are lacking. So let's say the instructor tells me that when you are on approach, you are not able to maintain 65 knots of approach speed. So now, to improve that, I can do is I can prepare early. Because if I'm not able to maintain 65, then I'm configuring the aircraft late. So that is the reason the aircraft might not be able to decelerate. So if I'm maintaining about 70 knots, that is like 5 knots above 65 knots. And for a good landing, a good approach is mandatory. Without a good approach, and there's no good. But Cessna, when we were flying Cessna, the runway was like 11,000 feet long. So we can land three times on the same runway, take off and land on the runway. But that's not the point. The thing is, when we are learning, we have to be like perfect. So this is just an example which I've given, like what you can work on to improve your training.
And to improve your skills during your flight training, you can do chair flying multiple times. It is very important to do it during your training, whether it is during your flight training for CPL or type rating or your initial airline training, wherein you do your flows and you practice it multiple times. So what happens is, whenever you have a cockpit, how do you do it? What is chair flying like, if you ask? Then you put a cockpit panel in front of you, and then you revise the actions to be done. Let's say pre-flight actions, or your before takeoff actions, or takeoff. So mentally imagine that you are now taking off, and then what you will be doing. Each action needs to be revised, so that you are preparing yourself for the next flight, right? And even maneuvers, like let's say you want to climb. So what actions you will take, like you add thrust, then you pitch up, then you trim, and then you climb, things like that. Then level off or descent. So these things you can practice it. So because recently, like the students who pass out, they ask me that how they should be preparing for the flight training. So I tell them that you need to improve every other day from whatever you have learned. Improve those mistakes, whatever you made, and then next day, as long as you don't repeat the mistakes in your next flights, you're good. Initially mistakes will happen, but as long as you correct them and you improve on them, that's fine.
Yes.
So that's how you can keep do a lot of chair flying, and that's what is important. Because once you come back home and then you just wait for the next flight, and then you just go for the next flight without doing any preparation or improvement, then that's not going to work as much.
Yes, and chair flying do help when we have low level of experience. It's very, very helpful.
Yes, absolutely.
So that is about the flight. Once the debriefing is done, then depending on what time the debriefing is done, so at our flight school, we had a bus running to the apartment every 90 minutes or something like that. I don't remember. It's been 5 years. So let's say if we are waiting for the bus, it's 1 hour to go. There was something as the Learning Resource Center, which was like a library. So we all friends used to go there, hang out, discuss whatever flight, what went right, like everyone is. So everyone would be on a different stage, and they used to share what the instructor taught us and everything. And there used to be one instructor sitting in the library as well if we have any doubts. So that is how we spend time while we are waiting for the bus. And then later on, like we bought a car and just to visit places around the city. And then we went home. We either went to gym or we cook food.
Used to.
Yes, because in US it is difficult to go out every day and have food, because when you eat food, it is expensive, but your stomach won't like it every day. I mean, so once a week is fine if you go out, but every day, as we discussed for the medicals, right? So you go home, you cook your food, you go to gym, you play tennis, whatever you want to. So we used to play volleyball or tennis, or go to gym, depending on whoever is available. And then cook food, go to sleep, and again, let's say next day if it's at 12 o'clock, so we adjust our schedule according to that day. And if we go to flight school, it's going to be around 6 hours. So because 1 hour you go in early, 2 hours of flight, 1 hour for debrief, and then in commute you spend around an hour or something waiting for bus and all of those things. So that is about the schedule in a flight training. So you fly for around 5 to 6 days a week. 2 days or 1 day would be off, depending upon your pace of learning, or if you want to fly on. It depends. It varies.
It depends on flight school to flight school. Like the school which you were was very, very organized.
It was, it was very organized. And so when I came back from the US to India, so I was surprised that there was no flight schedule for students here.
In flight schools.
Yes, in flight school. So when I was doing my conversion, like we had to report at around morning 6, where the BA is done for every student. And then there was a classroom where we had to wait. And then depending upon the instructor availability and the aircraft availability, they'll decide who will go for the flight. So you have to spend the whole day at the flying school until the end of the day. And then some days you won't be flying, some days you will be flying. So that was the difference in flight training in the US and flight training in India.
Right.
How was your schedule when you were flying in India?
Yes. So when I was flying here, as you said that in Indian flight schools, majority of them, there is no schedule as such. You, if you want to do your flight training, then you have to report the flight school base in the morning at 7 o'clock. And thereafter, you will be, there waiting for your turn to get your flight scheduled. So, and it is not even like known earlier. You just, you are told like, now you have a flight, just prepare yourself and come in next 15 minutes. So that's how it used to be. And back in time, 2006, towards the end of 2007 when I did my flight training. So that time it used to be like this, because things were not as advanced as it is now. And that time there was a lot of kind of, authoritarian behavior, approach. And whatever the instructor says, that is the final verdict, and you cannot raise your voice, otherwise your flying won't happen, and things like that. So because of that, we had no choice but to follow that. And that's how it went. But now things are much better in terms of in the major, bigger flight schools. But again, it's kind of similar in the smaller ones.
Yes, things have changed pretty much. So I was flying like around 2 years ago. So I've seen that. So now it's all friendly. It's not that authoritative. And then when we speak about red eye, like we were speaking for the airline. So we, as a student pilot, we generally don't do the whole red eye. So maximum until 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. our flight ends, because our flight is maximum of 3 hours if we go for cross country, and that is like after 30 minutes after sunset, the night time starts, right? So let's say if sun is setting at 7 o'clock, our flight reporting would be at around 6:30 so that we depart by 7:30 and that will be counted in night time.
Correct.
And that will be counted as night time, and we'll come back by around 10:30, 11. So that is done.
Correct.
So that was very comfortable. Now once we are in airline, we have reporting of 9 p.m. as well, and then we land back at morning 4 5. So that is a complete red eye.
Full red eye, yeah. Right. Yeah, that is different. Airline flying is quite like different compared to the flight training, where it is still during the day and some part at night when you are due or up for night flying. So yeah, that's about flight training roster. Then once you finish the flight training, when you have your CPL, then next comes is airline preparation, right?
Yes.
So when you are preparing to appear for the airline exams, okay, maybe as a CPL holder or as a type rated holder, So how does that roster is going to be, that we will discuss now. Yep.
Yes, for airline prep, I don't think so.
Yeah.
There'll be any roster.
Correct.
Because once you are awake, you'll be only studying. True. And
so
yeah,
I mean, you were a cadet, so you were.
I didn't have that. So, but I
Yeah.
experienced that phase. You can call it like cadet pilot preparation.
Right, cadet
So
pilot preparation.
that's what I used to do. I used to
Right.
wake up and study and then
Correct,
sleep and study. Because when I go for interview, I make sure I do my best.
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
every day I used to wake up and see, oh, I forgot to study that. I forgot to do that. Then I study more and then sleep again. Wake up next day. Oh, I think I should read this as well. So
True.
that was never ending until the interview is done.
Correct. Absolutely.
And
Yes.
once you are studying new things as well, you tend to recollect something which you have already studied. Then you
Right.
think, oh, I think I forgot it. Let's go back and revise.
Right.
So that keeps on happening. So according to me, when we are preparing for any sort of airline interview, we are just studying once we wake up. And if someone is not doing that,
that's not going to help.
that's not going to help. Yes.
Absolutely. So I remember back in time in 2015 when I was preparing for the airline exam. So that time it was very, very hectic schedule, but I enjoyed doing that because I was taking classes as well. So in the morning, I'm kind of, if I have to, do a lot of studying and that is what is demanded, will do it. But I am not like early morning person. I will do it little at night. Till 2 o'clock is my threshold. After 2, no. From 2 to 8, then I would sleep 2 to 7 or 8. And then, 7 to whatever, 7:30. And thereafter, wake up, get ready for the classes. And then from 9 to 5, I would take classes, then come back. Then again from evening 6 to night 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So it used to be like just study, all the time. So that's how you have prepared myself. Okay, and whatever possible study material that was, have used to read that, whatever I could get, wherever, whichever possible groups, where you get to know certain topics or certain information or certain things which you need to learn. Internet, you can take help of like things about Airbus 320, some general information.
But yes, please verify from the right source, because I've seen there are many websites with wrong information as well.
No, from the authentic websites, not the just AI sources, because not the AI sources. But
I think AI is lagging behind with aviation knowledge, because every time I search something, it gives me different answer for the same question.
Right. So it is important that yes, that time there was no AI. That time there were only websites. Okay, back in time, I'm talking about 10 years ago. 2015 is when I cleared the airline exams. So yes, airline training is pretty like airline preparation, I would say, is very, very rigorous. So once you get through an airline, then it's airline training, right?
Yeah.
So how is the...
Speaking about airline training, the training varies for different airlines, but the common thing is we have a couple of simulator sessions to make sure we are current with everything, and then different weather operations, then different approach capabilities. And
So if you are a
yeah.
CPL holder and you get through an airline, then the entire type
Type
rating is
rating
also the
is
part of
yes,
airline
yes,
training.
yes.
And if you are inducted as a type rated holder, then you have a certain abridged course wherein it's slightly shortened, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So in that, I think you have similar 6 to 7 hours of simulator session,
correct.
in which 5 hours is simulator, and then 1 hour pre-flight brief, post-flight brief, and then you go back and study.
Correct.
So that is also the same thing as we discussed, that we are in that study mode. So like
Absolutely.
DGCA exams, we just wake up, we go to the ground school, we study, then come home, revise, then again sleep, again repeat the next day. Same
Correct.
thing is applicable for type rating, but
Correct.
the duration is around 30 to 45 days.
Correct. Absolutely. Yes. So here for type rating, it's initially you will have certain, fixed base simulator sessions wherein it's a practice session on the fixed simulator. Followed by that, there will be the technical, classes also alongside, the ground classes for that particular type of aircraft with respect to technical knowledge and with respect to performance. Followed by that, there will be certain fixed base sessions on the, level D simulator. And followed by that, there will be full flight simulator, So approximately, like, if you consider each, as you said, each simulator session is about 5 hours. So 4 or 5 hours, depends.
Yeah.
And with the briefing, debriefing, it's super long, 6 or 7 hours of time. And you are like continuously handling, learning new, and it is at a fast pace because initially you were flying on Cessna, which would cruise at 90, 100 knots. And now you're flying this aircraft, which would take off itself at 140 knots.
Yeah.
and then after you would, cruise at what? 27, whatever, Mach decimal 78 or
79, yeah.
to whatever, 80 knots if you talk in terms of indicated airspeed, and ground speed about 480.
Yeah, 400,
so it's
yeah.
like crazy speed. You have to think, and you have to think ahead of the aircraft. So things go really fast. So you have to keep yourself
yes, and
prepared.
Cessna, if we compare with it with the A320 type rating, or like say Boeing 737 type rating, Cessna POH is around 100, 200 pages. I can sit and in 2 hours I'll just finish it.
Right.
But for
6,000.
for the Airbus or Boeing, it's around 5,000-6,000 pages, and you have to complete that within a span of 30 to 45 days.
Airbus, it is fatter, much fatter compared to Boeing.
Yeah.
Boeing is comparatively very small.
Okay.
Yeah. But still, like, so it's a lot of, FCOM plus FCTM plus QRH plus company operations manual and company notices. So it is a lot, to study. So it just doesn't end. So it is important that you give a lot of time to it so that you will be able to, get better at it during your training. So when you go for the airline training, so along after type rating, when you get inducted as a type rated trainee, first officer, or
so once all the
junior
simulator
first
sessions and everything
is done.
Yeah. So it depends. It can be before or it can be after the simulator session.
Correct.
But once that is done and you move on to the airline phase, where you get your pilot uniform, your company ID, and all of those things. So they call you to the head office, depending on where it's located, give you tickets and the baggage allowance, because you have to stay there around a month or two.
And your salary starts.
Yes. So your salary starts, and then you're briefed about the company, the different departments the company has, and like to apply for XYZ type of leave, whom to contact, then all the procedures for the airline, all the rules and regulations for the airline, you have to follow so and so things.
Right.
So all that is taught during that training, which will be in a classroom. And it's same
absolutely.
like morning,
Yeah,
morning 8 to 12. Yeah. So
8 to
yeah.
night, evening 6.
Yes, it depends. But
Right.
if you are scheduled, then it will be around 6 to 8 hours
Yeah,
inside the classroom for a span of 1 to 2 months.
Right.
And
absolutely.
that is, I would say, the last time you will be sitting for so many days inside a classroom.
Yes.
After that, there
it
are
will be
refreshers,
for-
but it's just matter of 4-5 days.
Yeah, for command training again you have
Okay.
to sit.
I was not aware
For
about that.
Lord,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about your ground class again. Okay, that is
With the airline,
conducted
yeah.
by an airline, where then you will be doing some drills also, like fire drill, ditching drill, smoke, and etc. After that, then you'll do certain simulators like all weather operations or low visibility operations, and certain RNP approaches or whatever. So those simulators, and then supervised takeoff landing simulator, where you will be taking off and landing as a first officer under supervision of a captain. So
In a simulator.
In a simulator initially. So initially everything is on a simulator.
So
First
once
there is
you
a ground
clear,
class, then
yeah.
simulator, and then on actual aircraft.
Yes.
Yeah.
So once we clear all of those things in the simulator, we perform to the expected standards of the airline. There's something called as base check, where you take an empty aircraft without the passengers and do around 6 landings.
Takeoffs and landings.
Yes. And once you are done that, and then you clear, and then you start your line training.
Correct. And then you start your supernumerary
Yes.
flights, right? That is observation flights. Again, depending on airline requirements, it varies how many flights you do. Somewhere between 30 to 60.
Yes.
Okay.
So supernumerary, or we call it as observation flights.
Correct.
So in a cockpit, depending upon the variant, there might be 3 or 4 seats. So in one seat, observer will sit as an observer and observe how the flights are going on, because in simulator we don't get a live exposure, because there'll be a lead who needs a briefing, then there'll be ground staff, there'll be the engineer,
Correct.
there'll be refilling going on,
Correct.
and there'll be passengers who want to see the cockpit, and you have to prepare, you have to get the clearance and have a situational awareness overall.
Correct.
And so that is a real life observation, how the flights take place, so that
Correct,
when
correct.
you are sitting in that seat, you know
Correct.
what all things you have to do.
Right.
So once it's similar to chair flying, like if you imagine sitting there, what will the captain do next, or what will the first
Correct,
officer do
correct.
next?
It's a little dynamic
Yeah.
situation in the actual aircraft. Yeah.
Yes. So in the simulator, we mostly focus on the procedures and knowing the
Right,
aircraft.
right.
When we go on our line flights or line training, we apply all of those things and ensure that the flight is operated safely and efficiently.
Correct. Absolutely. So yes, in the observation supernumerary flights, there will be certain topics to be discussed, so that those can be reviewed, which are related to practical flying.
Yes.
And then that trainee first officer is getting himself prepared for starting his supervised line flying, or SLF. Once the supernumerary is done successfully, then that first officer will start SLFs depending on requirement of the company. It can be between 30 to 60, whatever.
Yeah, it depends on the
Depends
performance
on-
as well. And I don't think so there's a schedule to that, because you again the flights it's like a line flight only, but
like
the only thing is like you have to prepare for the next flight properly, because every airport you go, you are mostly visiting it for the first time. Once you visit an airport for the first time, you are familiarized with that airfield, and you do not need that level of preparation as you're going in for the first time. So it becomes easier. But when we are just starting, most of the airports we fly to will be for the first time. Now let's say, now if I'm flying, let's say I'm going to Goa, I've flown there a couple of times, so I almost have a map of Goa built in my brain. Like, okay, once we land, we are going to Wreck-It on the right, and then November, and then the stands. We just have to refer it before the flight for 5-10 minutes, and then we are good to go.
Correct. And even we do departure briefing, arrival briefing also. Yes, of course. So that roster is going to be as per, requirement of an airline and as per the FDTL. So that's airline training. And during that, it's like every day is kind of your, training come check, right? So you shouldn't be completely unprepared. So there are certain things which are definitely expected, certain things which are not known. The instructor is there to teach you. And then in between there are checks also in which your performance is assessed.
So every flight we do under supervision, we have to show improvement.
Absolutely.
Because we have various reports which are generated after each and every flight. How did we perform? And there's grading done on each parameter of the flight. So we have to keep improving that, and that at the end of the training, we are good to release or fly without supervision. So that's what the program is all about.
So in the airline training, there are 9 competencies based on which each pilot is assessed, whether it is a simulator session or it is a line flight. So in that 9 competencies, it's basically application of procedures, it is knowledge, then there is communication, then how the pilot is managing the flight path in automation mode and in manual mode. So when you're flying manually, are you able to, fly correctly? Then workload management, like there are a lot of things, but how do you prioritize what is needed to be done at that point, and then how you can manage the workload well? So that, then situational awareness, it's very important that you keep a lookout at, all the parameters one by one, what's happening around, what is required at that point. So situational awareness. Then in terms of knowledge, as we discussed, what is required to be known for that particular time, how you're applying procedures correctly, or you're skipping out any things, those. And how leadership and teamwork, like you have to take the charge of the situation at that point. If when anything is not going as desired, so, and how you are, incorporating the other team member into that situation, and how you're taking his or her support. So these things are, based on how that person is performing during each stage. These things are assessed in the flight as well as in the simulator. So based on that candidate's performance will be
evaluated,
graded, based on between 1 to 5.
So now we also know how the roster of an aspiring pilot will look like.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, do let us know in the comment section. We'll definitely take up in the next Q&A session on Pilot Podcast. And if you are someone who is looking to start your pilot journey, you can sign up on courses.cntaaonline.in, and we'll be happy to guide you. Thank you for watching this podcast, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much for watching. It was great to have you here, and let us know if any other queries. Thank you so much.